Well, hi everybody, and welcome to the Mental Toughness and Body Show. My name's Rob Evans, and I'm your weight loss coach, health strategist, and internationally published author, helping take your life, business, mindset, and body from where you are right now to becoming unstoppable. And today's topic is going to be around what's driving you. What's driving you? And to use that as an example, I wanted to use myself as an example to tell you what's driving me, or one of the things that's driving me, particularly this year in 2020 in relation to my health, my fitness, and the body that I want. So this starts back in June 2019. So what happened back then was I started a journey with Kerry Pottharst. Kerry Pottharst is an Olympic gold medalist, and she's also the person that wrote the foreword to my book, Awaken the Sexy Within. And through my conversations and friendship with Kerry, she introduced me to the Isogenics products. Now, Isogenics are phenomenal products, and ever since she introduced me to them in June 2019, I've taken them every single day. Different supplements, different protein powders, snacks, etc. But I've taken them every single day. And they've had a phenomenal impact on my body. So my journey started in June then. And then in September, what happened was I was on this quest to get stronger and get in better shape. And I was doing really well because I'd had a surgery on my right shoulder about 18 months prior to September last year. And then about 12 months after that, I was having the same issue on my right, on my left. So I had surgery on my left shoulder. Now, unfortunately, something else happened. The surgery was slightly different on my left, and I was getting a recurring pain on the left. We had another MRI scan and discovered that actually what's happening on the left is actually worse than what was going on the right. So I needed to go back in and have surgery on the left shoulder again. Now that happened in September. And so third shoulder surgery. Now, if anyone out there's ever had any shoulder surgery, it's essentially the rotator cuff. And they tell me that the shoulder surgery is the most painful that you can have. And I'll tell you why in a second that is not true, or certainly wasn't true in my case. Each surgery I've had, it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good, really. But it takes about, at least 6 months before you'll start to be pain-free. And certainly with the surgeries that I've had. I've had 3 of them, so I'm a pretty good indication of what you're going to expect. It's a long rehabilitation. And really, you can't do much at all for 6 months. But you start rehab pretty much the day after you have surgery. Pretty much the day after. Well, I'll say 48 hours after you pretty much start the rehab. So I had that in September. Now then, come October, I had a hernia operation. Now what happened was, just after I discovered that I needed to have shoulder surgery, I developed a hernia. So a hernia down, basically straining. It popped when I was doing some decline sit-ups in the gym. And so the only way to fix it was surgery. So again, if you don't know what that means, a hernia is basically your innards trying to come out through the muscle. So what they do is they cut through the muscle, they put some mesh over the top of it. Imagine like fly wire, something like that. They put that over the top of it, and so that the muscle tissue can then grow into the mesh. And you'll never have that issue again because, what was coming out can't come through the mesh, in theory. Now, that happened on October. So what that meant was I timed them closely together, and that was as close as I could get them together so that I wouldn't have to have too much of a break from training, because I was told that I would need to have at least a 6-week break from training. Now, over 32 years that I've been training, I've never had more than probably a week, maximum 2 weeks off from my training. I just love it that much. So 10 weeks is it's like cutting off my leg. So that's why I wanted to get it happening close together. So what I was doing was I was rehabbing my shoulder 3 times a day for about 4 months. And then it dropped down to a couple of times a day, then once a day. And now I'm still rehabbing all this time later. I do it 3 times a week, 3 to 4 times a week. I'm still rehabbing the shoulders just to look after them. And so, because it's winter here now, if I don't do that, I find I'll get stiff and stuff. So I've got to make sure that I'm keeping on looking after them. So that requires a lot of focus and drive. Now, if I just pause there for a moment before I continue on, what I wanted to do in 2020, or late from sort of mid 2019, was create the best version of myself. Okay. Now, I'm always seeking to do that, but I had a particularly bigger focus and to say, well, I've been getting stronger and I've been looking good in the gym. I've been, stepping my nutrition up. I've been stepping up my the intensity of my training and everything. And getting the Isogenics products into me was really having a dramatic impact on how I was feeling. So I thought, you know what, this is my year. So I wanted to create the best version of myself possible. But having to, the shoulder, I was expecting that. The hernia, I didn't. Now, the hernia is by far the most painful exercise, the most painful surgery that I've ever had. Like, I'm talking 11 out of 10 pain as I was recovering from that. Now, unfortunately, I also developed an E. coli infection in the hospital while I was having, when I had the surgery. So that meant that I think effectively I came out of hospital for about 12 days, something like that. And then I ended up going back in to hospital because I was running a temperature. I was feeling really unwell. I knew I wasn't well. I thought I had an infection and they said, yeah, we're putting you back in hospital. And I was in hospital for a week and I've never been pumped through with so many different antibiotics that they were starting to make me feel unwell. They knocked it in the end and I got out. Now, it was probably 10 to 12 weeks before I was allowed to lift anything in the gym. Now, there was no risk of that because I was in so much pain, even just like moving from in the chair and getting from sitting down to standing up was immense pain, immense. So I kept on with my rehab with everything. I could start to get back into some walking and then my body started to recover. Now, in February 2020, I discovered the true fire in my belly. And that was in February, I wanted to become a finalist in the IsoBody Challenge. Now, this is part of Isogenics. If you want to check it out, go to my studios pt.com.au webpage and you can see all about it there. It's on one of my programs pages. And I thought, you know what? These are 16-week programs. This is going to help me, give me the focus that I need. So that's what I did. I signed up for it. And it gave me a really huge why. It's like, do you know what? I've always wanted, in the 32 years that I've been training, I've always wanted a six-pack. At some point, I wanted to compete as a bodybuilder, but my career and studying to be a chartered accountant and everything at the time, back in early 1990, it wasn't going to mix well together. So I sacrificed the training for the career and the income and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, you know, I've never been able to achieve that six-pack and body look that I really want to, and I'm going to make 2020 my year. I was kind of sick and tired of putting everybody else ahead of me and thought, you know what, why don't I just put myself first this year for the first time ever and really do everything that I can to get what I want my body to look like, what I want my health to look like, and be proud of being able to do it. Even at being, by the time I achieve what I'm about to achieve, I'll be 52 years old. And I thought I'll be in the best shape of my life, I will feel great, and I will look amazing, and I'll be proud of myself. And I want to be a great example for my kids too, that it doesn't matter what age you are, you can still get up on stage, you can compete, you can look great, and you can absolutely be a finalist in this challenge that you've set yourself. So that was what really set that fire in the belly. So I thought, okay, I need to get the appropriate support around me to make this happen. So I knew that I had the Isogenics products and they were fantastic. I knew that, I know enough about training and all that kind of stuff, but I've never got to the stage where I've put myself on stage. And I thought, I don't want to leave any guesswork to this. I want to go and find the best coach in the world that can help me do this. And not just somebody that's going to put me on some freaky diet, but somebody that is going to use the principles that I follow every day, and we just tweak whatever we need to tweak to get the outcome that I want to get. So I found the coach that I used about 8 years ago to help teach me some really great nutrition tips and training techniques, and he agreed to work with me. So I got the coach. And then, so what he helps me with is my training program, making sure that I've got that spot on, and also making sure that I've got my food, because to get to a six-pack, you've got to eat your way to a six-pack. That's the bottom line. You have to eat lots and lots of food, and it's about nutrient timing, the right amount of protein, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm in the last 16 weeks now, and I'll tell you why I'm talking about this topic for you today. But I need to know, okay, what do I need to do in the last 6 weeks? What do I need to do in the last 3 weeks? What do I need to do in the last days? Now, I've got an idea, but I've never done it before, so I want somebody to be by my side to say, no, don't do that, do this. Because when you try something for the first time, especially when it's changing your body, you don't know what the response is going to be. So in order for me to get this right, I want somebody that's done this, hundreds and hundreds or thousands of times, with bodybuilders and just people that want to get in great shape. So I got the coach for strength and the nutrition training. And then I thought, okay, so all of this is really going to be judged based on, so I'm aiming to be a finalist. And once I become a finalist, then the next step is to win Australia, New Zealand. And then from the next step there, it's to win globally. In the US. Now, whether we actually get to do that on stage, like in front of 5,000 people, that's my vision, and that's also what drives me in imagining what I'm doing, the music that's playing, etc., etc. But it all comes down to, initially, to become a finalist, it's a series of photos. So what I need to do is to be able to hold my body in the right way. I need to get the right lighting. I need to have a good photographer. I need to be tanned the right way, etc. So first thing, I asked my coach, I need help with my posing because I take photos of myself and I look like an idiot. And so I need to get that better. So I got in contact with a posing coach. I'm now working with a posing coach. I then got some coaching around tanning, believe it or not. And it's like, okay, so I'm very white. So for the photos to look better, you need to be really tanned. So it brings out the lines and all that kind of stuff better. So I thought, okay, I need to experiment with that. So what did I do? I did some research with different people, including my clients, my female clients, and said, what products do you use? Found the products. Had my daughters rub it all over me over the weekend and just to try it for the first time. And then my client said, no, you need to go like 2 shades darker than that to get the best results. So that's what we're going to do next time. I also had to find out, okay, hair removal, because for the best photos, you don't want to have a hairy chest and everything. So you've got to make sure that that looks good as well. So again, I had to experiment with some of that. So when it comes to taking the final photos, I've worked out the timing that basically about 2 days before the photos, I need to go through the hair removal process. I know all brand new territory for me, and it makes me think, wow, women, you really go to a lot of work to make yourself beautiful to go out. And I now have some appreciation for that. The next thing was about tanning. Photos. So I thought, okay, I can just get somebody that I know that does photography to take photos. But then I thought, no, do you know what I need? I need somebody that works with taking photos of bodies that are for competition, for bodybuilding poses and all that kind of stuff. So I went through a series of different people to find who's the best person to that, and now I've got that person and I've booked that in as well. So all really, really important. So now what I'm doing is, you can see I've got the right support around me. I've got all the coaching that I need. I've got that huge why, which is the big carrot on the stick that's always just in front of me. Now, I can tell you right now that the date that I'm working towards is November the 19th. And that is the final day that I take my photos. So that is the day that I have to have the photos done. I have to have all my tanning and posing and everything down pat. And that is the day that I need to be looking the best shape that I've ever looked in my life. So that's a long way off. I've started almost 12 months. Well, it's over 12 months really, but since I've had the fire in my belly in February, it will be over 9 months of constant hard work, knowing that every day I've got to get up and either have 6 or 8 meals. I've got to get the timing exactly right. I've got to get in 3 to 4 litres of water. Right now, my coach wants me to sleep more and he wants me to get 7 hours sleep. But now I love to get up early and just get stuck into it and work on 5 to 6 hours sleep. So that's a challenge for me. I know it wouldn't be for some, but it is for me. Making sure that every time I step into the gym, like today I did a workout, I know I have to bring immense pain to my body so that I can grow. I know that I have to keep getting these DEXA scans every 12 weeks so that I can see the progress in my body. I can measure my body fat. I can see what's happening in the mirror, but I need to know exactly what's going on and where is the fat disappearing from, how much muscle is going on, is all the work working. It's a lot of work. It really is. Now, if you don't really want this, it won't just accidentally show up. And a six-pack doesn't accidentally show up. This requires focus and dedication. Now, most of you, it's not going to be right for you. And I get that. And that's okay. It doesn't make you right and me wrong or vice versa. What it does mean is that this is what I want and this is what I've set my mind on, and nothing's going to stop me. Because I've created this so big in my mind's eye that nothing will stop me. I want it so badly. And my progress is going amazingly well. Now, the trouble is as well, because I'm doing it over such a big period of time, there are times when you're getting great results, but you kind of want more results. You want it faster. And my coach, he says, this is the challenging part, the phase that I'm going through right now. So just having a drink of water. I've got another 4 weeks in this current phase. And out of the last, I've done 8 weeks of it. I've got another 4 weeks of this current phase. And he says, this is the hard bit, Rob. This is the boring bit where people are wanting to cut out things. They're wanting to speed up the process. But he said, you need to do exactly what you're doing because you've got it spot on. You need to eat the foods that you're eating and the quantities that you're eating. You need to be tracking it all. I track it every single day what I'm eating. He said, just keep doing that and you will get the outcome that you want. So why? Well, next step is I've got to practice. I've got to practice the tanning. I've got to practice the posing. So I've set aside time every couple of days to make sure that I'm practicing my poses, to make sure that I'm going to look good. I've got to practice with the lighting in my studio to make sure that I get that right. And then work with the photographer to see, okay, what sort of lighting are they going to do? Where am I going to stand? How is that going to look in a final shot? So the reason that I'm talking to you all about this today is that the IsoBody Challenge, they run all year round. So there's 3 in a year. And today, one finished. And the last one that I'm doing to take me into 19th of November started today. So it's 4 months today until the day that I take my final photo. So that got me super fired up. I've got a chart on my wall that tells me how many days there are left until I have to, be in the best shape ever. But because it started today, I thought I need to share this because it is such a driving force for me. I've never been more focused in my life. So what I want you to do is think, in order to be successful in whatever it is that you want to achieve. I mean, right now, I'm talking about my health, my fitness, my energy levels, the body that I want. I'm just talking about that. But I have these same passions for my business, for my working with my kids and developing my kids. My mum always said we're growing adults, we're not growing kids. We're not developing kids, we're developing adults, and that's so true. And I just really wanted to appeal to you to say, do you have the burning passion like I do to achieve what I want to achieve in your life? Do you have it there? Because if you don't, it probably answers a whole bunch of questions as to why you are still where you are and not where you want to be. Now, you may have heard it before. You find out the why and you will find the how. If you make your why big enough, you will find the how. And that is so true. It was true with my business. When I first started out on business, I thought, do you know what? I don't know all the answers to how I'm going to create this business and get to where I want to and replace my 6-figure income. But I have so much passion for it that I will find the way. It doesn't matter what happens whatever's in my way, I will move it, climb over it, climb under it, because it's so important to me to do this. I now achieve a 6-income figure with my business, and that feels amazing because I did it. And it was something I thought, how am I ever going to replace my 6-figure income working as a senior manager and senior executive at a large firm? But probably the smartest person that I've ever worked with, he was my last boss, and he said to me, Rob, he said, whereas so many people around me, this just goes to show you the substance of this person and why you need to stand in the right room. Just about everybody else that I spoke to when I said that this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to run my own fitness business and this is the way I'm going to do it and do it from home and spend more time with my kids, they said, well, when it doesn't work, you can always come back, or, you're crazy, why are you doing that? Nobody supported it. But this man, Rod was his name, he said to me, Rob, I'm so envious of you. He said, you're really doing it. This is fantastic. Now, this is a guy that was earning like 300,000+ a year. Most brilliant man I've ever met. Really, really great. And it's just so kind. He said, Rob, I've never known anyone to follow their passion and fail. And I've always remembered that. And it was probably the most poignant thing that anyone said to me when I left. So what is your burning passion to succeed? Because this is mine for my body. And what's also great about it is, I said to myself this year, do you know what? I want to be a better example for people that are my age, whether they're men, women, whatever, and show this is what you can do at any age. Age is no barrier. I get people that come to me and say, oh, well, I'm getting old. I can't do what I did before. I won't be able to do this. I say, how old are you? And say, 35. I say, that is not old. It's really not. Even though they look older than 35 because of lifestyle habits and all that kind of stuff, they're not old. But people feel old before they get old. And my belief is this: I'm going to be lifting weights until the day I die. I mean, it's such a fountain of youth. It's amazing. So this is why I love what I do so much. And it covers so many different areas, not just your health and fitness. It crosses life, business, whatever it is that you want to achieve in your life, because you change your body and do what I'm going to do. That requires so much focus and dedication. If you can do that in this area of your life, you can do anything. So, what's your burning passion to succeed? If you want to have a conversation with me and find out how can we help you get that 6-pack, or how can we get you completely buffed? How can we help you lose weight and keep it off? Or how can we get you healthier and fitter? Go to the mentaltoughnessandbodyshow.com, scroll to the bottom, click on the link, and you can opt into a free consultation with me personally, and we can get you started and in the best shape of your life and more energy than you know what to do with. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Stay safe, everyone.